your favorite, the TBS Women's Championship tournament, whatever the fuck, Jade Cargill and Ruby Soho. And I have watched a lot of wrestling lately, and I started out saying, I can't do this. I just can't sit through, because I knew it was going to be long, and it was. And so I put on the fast forward, on-screen fast forward. I stopped in a couple places. Jade Cargill stomps like an ostrich. But they've had good matches with her. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. In and out, something they could practice and lay out. This was way too long. Ruby Soho is much better than what it looked here. But the problem was Jane needed a road atlas, a compass, and a GPS by the end of the match to figure out where she was located at. At one point, Ruby just climbed to the top rope to do something and had to just look and get back down because Jane was on the other side of the ring staggering around. It wasn't a good match, and Jane won because they had decided that Jane should win when they were impressed by what she looks like before she had ever had a fucking match. And now that she is way still not ready to be going 15 minutes or whatever this was on national television with anybody, man, woman, or child, now she's the TBS, the hose champion, according to the logo on the belt. Remember, we've talked about that. That's what everybody sees, HOS. What'd you think of this? I didn't pay close attention, and it's probably for the best, or I'd be going on for 20 more minutes.
I think it went on way too long. I think it exposed that Jade isn't ready. To be fair, we just went off about Big Swole. Beyond the issues that were raised, the one issue everyone agreed with was she wasn't ready for national TV. She wasn't good as a professional wrestler. Jade has a great look. And maybe I'm wrong, but I look at Jade and I say, you know what? This is someone taking this really seriously and trying hard.
She is. I won't even take that away from her.
But she needs more time. They rushed her to get this title. I know she's been there for like a year. How many matches has she had? Like 8 matches? 10 matches? She's working on the YouTube show. How long have those matches been going?
And who are the people that she's working? Their own families don't recognize the people on the YouTube shows that are doing the jobs because it's all Nightmare Factory people. They have a budget. And if they had any pride in their product, instead of using wrestling school students, they would bring in, contact, book at least experienced independent guys to come in that look like something and do jobs and rotate those people so that you don't get tired of them and pigeonhole them as jobbers. If one catches on, you can do something with them. Instead of having an endless parade of wrestling school students put over people who honestly still need to be in wrestling school. Have pride in your product. Spend some money there. Cut 5 people that are never going to do a goddamn positive thing for your program and use that money to bring in fucking 5 quality jobbers per week. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and now they have another belt, and it's on someone who can't lead a match and who can't work a long match. I'm not saying Jade can't be a long-term project or even a short-term project over a few years, but when you have people there, and I'm not going to once again go, oh, Serena Deeb, oh, Thunder Rosa, but there are people there that can go out there as a champion and lead a match, work a match, make it believable, work with someone like Jade in real time to get her to this point. But to me...
You know what? If Ruby's so... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, to me, the result was kind of predetermined, especially when they started showing her family at ringside, which is an interesting move for a heel.
Yeah, this bitch, I'm that bitch, and I've got a crooked lawyer as my manager, but here's my adorable toddler at ringside. You fuck, what a fucking mess.
Yeah, I don't know, this whole segment I think could have been done a whole lot better. And I personally wouldn't have belted Jane. That's a better way to say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put a belt on Jane right now.
To the moon, Jane.
Now I'm calling her Jane. I'm not against her getting in the future, but there was nothing I saw in this match other than the way she looks that says this person should be a champion there.
Jane, you're playing a game of hide and go seek. Ruby Soho should have been the first champion. Ruby Soho should have derailed Jade Cargill and been the only blemish on her undefeated record and got this belt and defended it a couple, because at least Ruby has been, she trained in OVW for a while. She's been to the WWE. She's got experience. She's somewhat of a veteran. She's not Mildred Burke, but she's not as green as most of the female talent they got. And then Jane could have fucked her out of the belt and got some heat. As it was, as I said, here's this bitch, self-proclaimed bitch, that's bigger than all the other girls, a natural bully that has a crooked lawyer for a manager, even if he's not in any way believable. And she wins the belt pretty much fair and square, and then they show her toddler child at ringside. So she didn't get any heat. Ruby just got beat. Thanks for coming, Ruby. You were hot for about 3 weeks. I almost got song lyrics there. And it was a bad match, so nobody prospered here. And I'm like you. If Jane has all the tools and looks striking visually and et cetera, and if you let her actually get some practice without the eyes of the world on her for a while, you might have something. But anyway,